This is my 1952 Farmall Super A, and we'll do a walkthrough and show what work we've done so far, but this hasn't been started today. And first thing in the morning, I want to show you how easy it starts. No choke. No choke, first pull, been sitting overnight. That's how fast it starts. Let me give you an overview of what we've done. Let's start at the front. Start on this side. This is the 6-volt generator. We converted to 12 volts, so we didn't use this. We're going to be replacing this with a 12-volt alternator. I did show a video of taking the carburetor off. It wasn't too bad on the inside, but the float was stuck. We got all that freed up and cleared up. The outside looks worse than the inside. Replaced the oil bath. The tank wasn't too bad on the inside. We flushed it out. The sediment bowl was plugged up, varnished up. We took it apart, cleaned it, put it back together. As I said, we upgraded to 12 volt. 6 volt just wouldn't turn it over fast enough. I'll put a clip here of how slow it turns over with a 6 volt. So there was wires that ran from the back of the control panel down the side of the tractor in a little harness right up to the generator, actually to the voltage regulator. And those two have to be put together to make a circuit for the coil to operate. And when I disassembled that before switching it to 12 volt, I had no power to the coil. So I tied those two together and I got power back. I have since disconnected it and rerouted it. Not a whole lot back here. I'm replacing the tire. Replace the cables because on a 6-volt system it is positive ground. On a 12-volt system it is negative ground. Here's a new braided ground cable, and then my positive cable comes to the top. I rebuilt the pull switch, new battery coming up front, changed to a 12-volt coil. I've got to replace this lead that goes to the points. Points are original, cap is new, rotor's original, wires are new. And before I pulled it over, I ran PB Blaster down the cylinders, turned it over with a hand crank, made sure everything was smooth. It's been sitting over 25 years. And what I did yesterday was put new tires on the front. Now they're not tractor style tires, but the tread won't matter on the front tires. So far, that's what we're doing. We're ultimately going to completely give this a restoration. We're going to paint it, clean it up, clean all the rust off, paint it. But you see how it runs. I still have to do an oil change. I'll show you doing that. Got to service the transmission, gearbox, steering box. Still have to do all that, but you see how well it starts. We're well on our way to this being a usable tractor. Okay, everybody, this is my 1952 Farmall Super A. I've got the muffler and all off of it. Got here on the concrete. When I first got this tractor, this rear tire on this side was rotten. You could almost just stick your fingers through it. It was flat. We got it home. The front two tires were, the one on the other side was absolutely destroyed. And then the one on this side was okay, but was also in bad shape. So I got a buddy owns a tire shop, and he hooked me up with these. These are actually off of a Volkswagen Beetle. So they fit the rims, but as you look at the tractor, it causes the front end to ride up high. So this is what the tractor looks like with these tires. I'm going to take them off, take them back down to the tire shop. We've ordered the appropriate tires for it. I'm worried about oil circulation with it riding this high. It probably would be okay, but I just don't like that look. So we're going to bring it back down. So I'll get started removing these tires. All right, everybody, I wanted to come out here. It's a cold morning here in Florida, and I wanted to come out here and show you. This is the new project that we're working on. This is the Farmall Super AV. Trying to change the axle on, bring the front end down instead of putting the big tall tires on the back. So I'm going to do a cold start. It's 41 degrees. It's set up, it got down into the low 30s tonight. Excuse me. Got down into the low 30s last night. So this is a cold start. I have not started it. I wanted you to see. Choke is not on. I'm just putting the battery cable on. Turning on the coil and pull in the starter. There you go. It's got so much compression. I've cranked on that battery. The battery is a little bit low, so it kind of hesitated at the beginning, but no choke, cold start, and it fires right up. So we're working on getting the front axle changed out. I've got the parts guy coming by in a few minutes. We're going to check it out, get the right ones from the junkyard, get the new front end put on it, replacing the heavy duty axle with a standard Super A axle to bring the spindles down. Right now it's about 5.5, 6 inches taller than it needs to be. So all right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, I want to give you an update on my 1952 Farmall Super AV. As I told you in the last video, this tractor set up, the nose set up pretty high when I first got it. It was given to me. It belonged to a former agriculture education teacher when I was in high school. This was his backup tractor. I couldn't figure out why, and then I parked my grandpa's tractor next to it and saw that the front spindles were a different height. And of course I knew it had the diamond axle, but on the back it has regular Super A rims and weights and Super A size tires. So at some point someone's taken the rims and the hubs and all off the back and put Super A size on it, which made the tractor set up. Now I've got it jacked up. I've got blocks under it. We're going to be taking the whole front steering and axle assembly off today and replacing it with one from a tractor junkyard that is the round axle for a regular Super A. It was cost prohibitive to find the big tires, the big rims, the big wheel weights for the back. So we're going to make this a standard Super A by taking this axle off. Now what we're going to have to do is, I had to pull the radiator, I had to pull the fan, of course, with the belts, the generator assembly, of course the hood and the grill. So I pulled all that off. So to do this, the Super AV has a different steering box than the regular Super A as well. It has a support rod that comes out of the bottom of it, right here, underneath the vice grips, comes up and bolts to the bell housing. Well, a regular Super A doesn't have that. So as I'm getting the standard Super A axle, I'm having to change out the steering box as well. I got it as a package deal from the junkyard. I haven't picked it up yet. I'm going to pick it up this morning. I've got a couple of helpers coming over. We're going to take this axle out. The only thing that holds it in, of course I removed the lower radiator neck. The only thing that holds it in is 4 bolts. One there. There was one there. One there. And then there's one underneath. Like I said, one back there. And then this one is still in it. So those 4 is all that hold the front axle on. We're going to be pulling that out. We're going to be changing it out. That means the tie rods, the hubs, everything is coming. I'm not sure if he's going to have cut the steering shaft or if it's intact and I can just bolt it in place. I'm not sure yet. I'll find out in an hour or so. So I'm not going to film us changing it out. I'll bring you back once we've changed it out and you'll be able to compare the difference. I'll try to put I'll try to put a screenshot of this axle and then a screenshot of the new axle so you can tell the difference. This is a lot beefier axle for the AV, of course, but don't do me any good if the engine is at such a tilt then I'm worried about the oil in the transmission. So it's way tilted up. I'll show you a picture here. So I'm going to change it out. I want a more level tractor. Looks kind of goofy the way it is. So the only reason I've got some help coming, I probably could have disassembled this and removed it. But as a gentleman that's helping me with this project showed me, this pulley is cast, and the front assembly, the steering box and everything, goes up under that pulley. So if you're not real careful removing this whole assembly, you can break that pulley and your cooling fan pulley, and that's just pressed on, and it's a pain to heat up and get off. So if it happens, it happens, but with the help, I've got it jacked up pretty high, so hopefully it'll just drop right down and clear it, and then we'll be able to lift the other one back up, pop the 4 bolts in it, put some tires on it, let it down, and I can reassemble it. So this tractor runs incredible. One of my better running tractors. It fires right up, as you've seen. So we'll keep working on it. This is just another project. Once I get this part done, I got some help right now. Once I get this part done, I'm going to start cleaning this tractor up, sanding it, wire wheeling it, and before I put all this back together, I'll pressure wash this, degrease all this grease in the front. Probably needs a front seal anyway, but I'm not going to get to that right now. It's currently not leaking any oil, but the engine is tilted way back. So we'll see what happens once we level it out. We'll deal with that. Cross that bridge when we come to it. I'll let it set up and see if it leaks, but that's what we're doing here on Fixing with the Kid, our 3rd tractor on the channel, and we'll keep moving forward. I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Before we install it, I wanted to show you the salvaged one that I'm going to be cleaning up to put on the tractor. Everything seems to be here. Steering and bushing seem to be tight. I've got to get this bolt that snapped off out. We'll try heating that up, and some blaster and a vice grip, see if we can't get that bolt loosened up, but try to clean it up here a little bit before my help gets here to install it. Alright, so we got the new axle put in, new used axle. So if you can compare this, I'll try to line up a picture before and after. Just with the gas tank and the top of the engine alone, it's more of a level profile. And that's good for all the fluids and the transmission and rear end. Also the aesthetics of it. Got the round Super A axle. And so keep on moving on. I've got it out here with some, I brought it outside to spray it down, get some of the grease off of it, mainly up here in the front of the engine. Get out here and pressure wash what I can off and start cleaning it up with the grinder, wire wheel, get it ready for some primer and some paint. But I can tell you, changing out that axle leveled it out. So we'll get working on it.